Hello student, welcome back, and now we have is a small chapter alternating current. We will finish in 1 or 2 lecture maximum. Okay, so far we have learned all about what DC current, right? So from this small topic we are learning about AC current also, okay? Alternating current, as you know. Okay, what is DC current? DC current is magnitude generally remains constant, but main important thing is what direction always remains constant, okay? It's always in one direction, DC current, direct current. But the alternating current, what happens is magnitude will vary continuously and direction will change periodically, as you know, right? Look here, this magnitude can varies in DC current also, okay? So DC current, you don't say that always is constant. DC current in magnitude can vary also, but direction doesn't change, okay? For DC current, direction is always one direction only, but for AC, what happens? Magnitude changes continuously, magnitude should also change, and direction should change after a fixed time interval, okay? So, what is the definition of AC once more? I am writing on board, okay? I am writing in short, okay? This is a type of current in which what happens? Magnitude changes continuously, right? And what happened to direction? Direction changes periodically, okay? Yes. So how we represent the AC current actually, okay? There are many ways to represent, but if you remember last topic, last chapter, at the end we discussed like our what do you say, our generator came where like AC generator, then we wrote the equation of the current generated by that generator, which was AC current equation. So remember how it looks, we represent as sine or cosine function, right now. So generally how we represent AC current, we represent in terms of sine or cosine function. Like generally represent like current at any instant is what, I naught sine omega t, or you can write voltage also same way. Potential at any point is maximum potential sine omega t. Here we can have initial phase also like this, or just omega t also, doesn't matter. Or you can have cosine function also, right? Sine and cosine. Suppose sine function writing, then you know your current look like this one, right? And if you remember our SHM chapter, I told you that, remember what's the equation of SHM? A particle performing simple harmonic motion, how you write? Exactly same equation, like displacement of particle is given like y is equal to what, a sine omega t or a cos omega t, right? If initial phase is given, you can add there. So it exactly look like this only, right? No? Yes. So AC is also an example of what your SHM actually, okay? Simple harmonic motion, because you know AC, okay, current is what, alternating current, up down you see, right now. Yes, so it's also what, an SHM only if you see carefully. Okay, so look here, so how we represent is that one is a sine or what, cosine function. So this type of wave is called sinusoidal wave, right, and you can write in cosine function also, okay? So you can write like this way also. This is also your AC. Yes, AC. What happens? Look here, magnitude of this current at this timeline, that's what your current, okay? So with time you see magnitude changing continuously, right now. Yes, increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, and direction change after a fixed time interval. So suppose this is a one complete wave, this is time period t, that becomes what, you know, t by 2. So after every t by 2, direction of the current changes, okay? One time is positive, then other times got one negative or opposite direction you say, right? Okay. It's not always that AC can be like this form only. We can write some other form of AC also. It can be like this way also. Suppose this is called a triangular AC. Look here. This is called what? A triangular shape or triangular AC, right? Yes. This is also an example of what, AC current, okay? Yes. And you can have a square wave type also. Like you can have AC like this way also. This is also an AC, okay? So this is called a square wave type of AC, okay? Or you can have like this type also. So this is called like short tooth, right? You have seen saw, they used to cut the wood and all the thing. That tooth look like this one, okay? The incline, okay? So this is also an AC. Yes. So these all are ACs only, but in this chapter mainly what we'll talk in terms of these functions, these type of AC we talk, okay, sinusoidal functions, right? Yes. Okay. Suppose what I give like this type wave, like this, and I ask you whether this is AC, your answer will no, it's not an AC. Why? Okay, direction changing, but it's not periodically. Magnitude also changing, direction changing, but it's not after fixed time interval. Like this is some time, then next time should be also same. This time is small, then next time is small. You see right now? Yes. So time interval is what? Not same. So not an AC. This is what? Not a AC. Correct? Or suppose I draw this wave like this way. Then this also not an AC. This is a DC actually. It's a DC and its magnitude is what varying. So this is also not AC. This is a DC actually with varying magnitude. Okay. Or suppose I draw like this type. This is a current all the time. Okay. Current time graph I am drawing. Suppose I draw like this type of wave. Then this is what? Look here. This is a mix of AC and DC both. Okay. So this is what? Mix of what? AC plus what? DC. Both mixed will look like that way. Okay. Okay. So what I said that in this chapter we will talk this type of what? AC current, what? Sinusoidal AC current, right? Okay. So we will see always this thing, and equations already you know. Phi is called your initial phase. Initial phase. Omega you know is called angular frequency. Okay, you have learned nicely. These are the maximum values. So current and voltage both you can write in terms of this function, or you can write cosine fraction also. You can also write like E is equal to what? As a E short not. Instead of sine you can write cos omega t also you can write. Same you can write for current also. This can be plus or minus also. Okay. I wrote both positive values. Suppose this is a negative. I is equal to minus I naught, then graph will be like downward, right? Like this way, right? Start from what? Negative. Cos negative, then this graph will start like that way, right? Yes. Okay, you know these things already, we have discussed all this. Okay. Apart from this, small question they ask here about phase difference, about resultant amplitude. I will not teach those things because exactly same things we have done at very great extent in our SHM and what waves topic of 11th class, right? So they can ask you like addition of the waves. You want to add resultant, you want to add two waves are given to you, and they ask what is resultant amplitude. Just you have to add by vector rule only. What? A square b square plus what? 2ab cos theta, where theta or phi is what? Your phase difference. How to calculate phase difference we have learned very nicely. So revise your waves chapter, okay, of your 11th class syllabus, okay, waves chapter, and exactly same that you have to add the two waves or two currents, two AC currents, okay. Then how you write resultant amplitude, their resultant phase difference, all we have done these, okay. So I will not discuss those things here. Okay, before we go to main topic, we have to discuss some terms. So what terms? One is called this type of current we talk here. So look here in this formula, this is your maximum current, right? Maximum current. Then this is called your instant current. Current at any instant, right? At given time. So two words are here, what? Maximum current and the instant current. Now two words more I will talk, two more type of current. One is called average or also called mean current. Average. What is average current of an AC current? What is average value of an AC current? Okay. So we have some definition here. From definition we get the average value. Okay. What is the definition of this actually? Let's write here. Okay. The average or the average value of an AC is the value of a DC current that would send same charge as sent by an AC current in the given circuit in same time. Okay, actually what is the definition of average current that I wrote there on board? What it says that, what is the average value of and what AC current? So it says that is the amount of DC current, okay, we are writing in terms of DC, which will send some charge through a circuit which is sent by what? An AC current for the given time. And here one word I missed, very important, okay. So this we calculate over this, okay, let's write here, is calculated over what? Half cycle. Okay, this is we are doing calculation for our half cycle. Why not complete cycle? We will talk. So how much this comes when right? Okay, I mean or I average, it comes to how much? It comes to what? You everybody know this, 2 by pi times of the I naught, right? Yes, we are not doing its derivations here. Okay, yes. So I average, what's average value of the currents? 2 by pi into what? I naught. Same way you can write your voltage also. You want to write average, what is the answer? 2 by pi of what? A naught. 2 by pi times of maximum, this is called average value, correct? This average value we calculating for half cycle only, this much only. You can talk positive half, you can talk negative half, but just half cycle. Why? Because if you talk average value over a complete cycle, so I'm writing these two values, they are for what? Half cycle. Please focus on this, okay? These two values I'm writing now, that's for calculated over a half cycle. By chance they ask that what is the average value of AC current over a complete cycle, means this much. What is the answer? 0. Because this is a positive, that's negative, you add them, answer is what? 0. So this question was asked in our exam also, very very important. Let's write it here. The average value of an AC current, right, over a complete cycle, right? Cycle is always what? Yes, 0. Please focus on this. Average value of a AC current, AC cycle, okay, over a complete cycle, means positive half, negative half. This is one complete cycle. What is the answer? 0 directly, because positives and negative all equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, so you add them, becomes 0. That's why you calculate this average value over a half cycle. You can talk positive half, negative half, doesn't matter. Positive half means positive, negative half means this negative, that's all, okay? Sign. Okay, this is called what? Your average current. Then one more definition to talk here, that's called RMS current. Other name also there is called virtual current. Virtual or also called apparent, okay? Yes. What is RMS definition? Okay, like how we say definition of like your average is the amount of DC current which will send some charge through the circuit that is sent by a AC current in this given time. So here we say in terms of what? Heat. Exactly similar definition, and this we calculate over a complete cycle. Okay, let's write here. Look, everybody know meaning of this word, and we have done this nicely in thermodynamics also. Root mean square. Suppose you want to write directly what is RMS, like what is RMS current, you can write like this also. Okay, let me write here clearly. IRMS. Everybody know what is RMS. You add all the currents like I1 square, I2 square plus I3 square, right? You have some current, divide by how many currents you have. That's called your average. So that's called your RMS. Sorry. Yes. This thing we have done in thermodynamics, like average velocity, mean velocity, and RMS velocity and maximum velocity. This we have done right in thermodynamics. Same only. RMS means what? You do square, then you take mean, then you take root of them. You square these all values, then you took the mean of these, then you put a root here. That's called RMS. Correct? Yes. In exam they can ask like this way also. Some currents are given. You can find the RMS value like this way also. But how you write it, that I am telling you. What is the definition? How they define this actually? Okay. Okay, so I writing here the RMS, the RMS value of an AC current is the DC current which will produce some heat in a circuit which is equal to heat produced by an AC current in same circuit and in same time for the given time. So like exactly same definition here. What is the RMS value of an AC current? Is that much DC current which will produce some heat in the given circuit which is produced by an AC current for the given time. Okay. So here we talk in terms of what? Heat, and here how we define it? Charge. Okay. Okay. So when we do a small derivation that we don't need, so how it comes? your IRMS simply comes what? It becomes what? 2, okay, I naught by what? Root 2. Same way you can write your potential or EMF also. IRMS is what? ERMS is what? Root 2. That's what your voltage. Correct? Average current, RMS current. Okay. Use of these will be little later when we solve the RLC circuits. Okay. Okay. So these were little basics. Here we can talk one more topic like some theory question they can ask that how you measure your DC current and how you measure what AC current. Okay. Right, like how we measure DC current. Already we have learned recently that we have some instrument that's called what? Ammeter. Ammeter is actually generally made from what? Galvanometer. Okay, so moving coil galvanometer and working and these things already we have learned. So here also we have some device which measure what? Your AC current, that's called AC ammeter. Okay, so we'll little compare these two and we'll see what is the difference between AC and DC ammeter or meter. Okay, okay, now we're talking how to measure what? AC current. Okay, as I said, so look here, you want to measure a DC current, you use what? DC ammeter, right? Or say let's write DC meter. Okay, let's compare these two. And AC you want to measure and you write AC meter you use. Okay, what's the difference between these two? Look here, DC current we have learned like MCG, moving coil galvanometer. So your moving coil galvanometer we use right now. So who measure this? I'm writing is what? Like moving coil galvanometer. Okay, this you use. Then what do you use for AC? AC we don't use that moving coil galvanometer type of thing. We use what? It's called hot wire instrument. Okay, it's called what? Hot wire instrument. Actually this work on what? Heating principle. Let me write here also. This work on what principle? This work on what? Magnetic effects of current, right now? Yes, magnetic effects of current. But this type of meter, AC meter, work on what? Heating principle. Okay, heating effect of current. This work on what? Heating effect of the current, right? Okay, then what happens? What value your DC meter measures? It measures what? Average value of the DC current. Okay, it measures what? It measures average current, right? It gives a reading of what? Average. But this guy will not measure average because already we learned average over a complete cycle for AC is what? 0. So it measures what? RMS value. Okay, so it measures what? RMS value. Okay, okay, RMS current. Then look here, very important. Remember here we saw that, if you remember that our galvanometer working we learned, you saw that deflection was directly proportional to what? Current. Remember here the working principle that deflection was directly proportional to what? I. Correct na? Yes. So here we have a linear scale. What we have? A linear scale. Correct na? Theta is directly proportional to current, like more current, more deflection it shows, so more reading on the scale, right? But here it works on heating principle. You know, heat is proportional to what? I square, correct? Directly proportional to what? Current square. So here deflection will be proportional to actually current square. So here we have a non-linear scale, varying scale. Okay, non-linear scale, right? Okay, what else you can talk? Suppose what happens, this meter, DC ammeter or DC meter you connect in AC circuit. DC meter you connect an AC circuit, then what will happen? It will not measure anything. Why? Because AC average value, okay, and average value for AC is what? 0. It measures average. Okay, right? I wrote no somewhere here. I wrote it here. It measures what? Average value, and average for AC is what? 0. So it will read what? 0. I write in few words here. If DC meter is connected to an AC circuit, right now, then it will not work, right now. It will show us 0 reading. Why 0 reading? Because it measures for an average current, and average current for AC is what? 0, correct? So a DC meter you cannot use for AC currents, right now, to measurement of AC current. But what happened to this guy? Look here. Can this AC meter we connect to our DC circuit, will it measure any current? Yes, it will measure the proper value. Why? Because this work on what? Heating principle. Heat produced here also, heat produced also here, and heat is always proportional to what? R square only, right now. So this will work properly. So like here, if AC meter is connected to our DC circuit, right now, then what? It will work properly, right now. It will work properly. What's the meaning of this? If you have an AC meter, you can use in both type of circuit, in AC or DC circuit, it will measure the proper value. But a DC meter you cannot use for what? AC circuit, because AC, again I am saying that your average value is what? 0, and the DC meter read what? Average value, correct? Okay, this was a small point. We talk about measurement. Okay, now we'll talk small things. We have three elements: resistance, capacitance and inductance. Okay, we will see that when we connect these, okay, individually toward an AC circuit, then how they behaves, what's the relation between current and potential. Okay, so one by one we will do all these things. Let's start. First we write resistance. Okay, so I am writing like resistance connected, let's say resistance alone, okay, connected in what? AC circuit. You have a resistance and connect to an what? AC source, then what will happen? Let's see. So you have this resistance, and this resistance we connecting toward an AC source. The AC source we represent like this way by a sign, right? Yes. So this resistance of value R, okay, and what is the voltage supplying? Let's write AC voltage is sin omega t. This is our AC voltage is supplying, correct? No? Okay. So potential equation I am writing here again, E is equal to what? Sin omega t, correct? No? Now some current will flow here, I, yes, current will flow. So resistance you connect to, already we understood that resistance you connect to a DC circuit like we have learned so far, and you connect to AC circuit, its behavior remains same. Whatever resistance, that resistance will offer toward AC or DC doesn't make any difference. So your resistance is what? Like plays equality. Okay, you connect to DC circuit, AC circuit, it doesn't affect any values. Okay, same current will flow, no problem. Okay, so this is actually your voltage equation. You want to write current equation, then what happens? So you divide this by what? Resistance. Then you say the current is equal to what? Simply E naught by R sin omega t, or you can write I is equal to what? I naught sin omega t, correct? So what's these two equations? Both are sine, both are positive, means there is no angle between or phase difference between your current and voltage, right? They are in what? Phase. So how you say here? Yes, when you have resistance alone connected to AC circuit, what happening? Watch carefully. You write that current and voltage are in phase. They are in phase, or you say their phase difference is what? 0 degree. There is no angle between what? Current, or phase difference between what? Voltage and current. They are in phase, they are in same direction. So if you want to draw something called phasor diagram, they draw always. Okay, so it's very easy to draw. Suppose you represent your current or voltage anywhere. Suppose you represent this your voltage equation, right? E now, right? This is your angle omega t. Okay, yes. Then where is the current? Exactly in the same direction. Here also what your current? This is what your I. There is no phase difference. The direction which is your voltage same is what your current also. Okay, no phase difference at all. Okay. So once more I am telling, they will ask you some numerical. Well, we'll see that first they connect something toward an AC DC source, then same thing is connected toward AC source. Then what happens? Your resistance will not change, because resistance does not depend on frequency. Later we will see that capacitor, inductor, their resistance, it's called what? Inductive capacitance, inductive reactance, they will change with what? Frequency. So it's very important here to see that what you are writing here, resistance, okay, does not depend upon what? Frequency. Frequency means DC. What is the frequency of DC current? 0. Okay, right? If you don't know, writing DC current. For DC current, what is the frequency? I am writing as simple. What is the answer? 0. AC. Okay, so you connect to AC or DC, your resistance will not vary. Correct? AC current has frequency. If it's given, okay. Not given, then remember that in India, what is the AC frequency? Is what? Around 50 Hertz. For domestic purpose we have 50 Hertz. Okay, okay. And if they talk USA, at what? 60 Hertz. These are general value. If you need some numerical and it's not given, frequency is not given, then how much you will use? 50 hertz. Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm saying the resistance you connect in AC circuit, DC circuit, resistance will remain, resistance value will not change. So if you want to draw a graph between what? Resistance versus frequency. What is the answer? A straight line. It will not change. It remains constant. Okay, zero frequency or 100 hertz or 50 hertz, it will not be affected. Okay. Okay, let's see then what happened to some other element like inductor. Okay, so second we're talking. Okay, let me change. So now I connect like inductor. So inductor alone connected to a AC source, or say AC circuit, right? Instead of this resistance, we have an inductor here. Okay, so one small thing I forgot to tell you. Everybody know that the voltage drop. What is V? Let's call it VR. Voltage drop across what your resistance. That's called current flowing through into what resistance. We know this, right? But this is special here, so I wrote it here. Okay, so this is an inductor. Okay, I'm drawing a little wrong. This is an inductor symbol. Is connected to what your AC source. This is your AC source. Okay, what potential is applying? E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Correct. Okay, this is what your inductor of inductance L. Okay, and some current is flowing through here. Correct. So remember what happened to DC. First forget AC. Remember your resistance you connect to your DC circuit. I'm not talking about AC. Okay, first focus on DC. You on the switch, current will flow immediately, right? You off the switch, current will cut off immediately, right? But you have learned that same thing doesn't happen to all your capacitor and inductor. When your capacitor and inductors are connected, then you on a DC current will slowly will grow, then slowly it will decay. That's called exponential growth or exponential decay we have learned, right? With DC. Now how they behave is what AC that we're learning here. So look carefully. So potential equations here in front of you, E is equal to what? E sine omega t, done. You want to write your current equation, how current will be there. Okay, so suppose voltage drop here is called what? VR. Sorry, VL I'm writing. Voltage drop occurs inductor. Okay, yes. So look here, we want to find current equations here. So how you will find? Remember last topic, the EMF induced, because when current is growing, this flux will be changing and EMF will be induced here, right? So what is EMF induced? What is formula? Minus L di by what? Dt. Remember this? Yes. So we want to calculate current. So look, what is current? Watch carefully. Di is what? E times of dt by L and minus, right? What is EMF? That's your voltage equation. Okay. So di, let's integrate on both sides. E naught by L minus here and sine omega t, and what? Dt will come here and integrate on what? Both side. So do a proper integration of this. Okay, this not much important, still I am doing. So current equation how it looks? It looks minus E naught by L. Okay, and sine becomes what? Cos omega t, and what? Omega outside, right? So look here. Okay, sorry, integration I'm doing. So omega should come down actually. Okay, yes, like this way. So look here, this E naught omega L, this is what call your resistance. Okay, how we write? Look here, something called XC. You're talking XL. Okay, this is called what? Inductive reactance. It's called what? Inductive reactance. This is like resistance offered by an inductor to an AC current is called what? Inductive reactance. Once more, the resistance offered by an inductor, okay, to an AC current is called what? Inductive reactance. XL we call. So XL formula is what? That one. What is this? Omega into L. That's XL. How much? Omega L. Or omega is what? 2 pi f. Frequency also L, right? Yes. What is unit of this XL? Is what? Ohm only. Because the resistance only. Okay. XL is nothing but resistance of an inductor offered toward an AC current, right? Yes. So look here. This equation I am talking. So this is what your XL. So E naught by your resistance is called current. So you can also write like I is equal to what? Minus I naught of cos omega t. Okay. You want to remove this minus sign. You can also write this equation like this one. I naught of sine what? Omega t minus pi by 2. Okay. So now look here once more. Look at this equation. This is a voltage equation. E is equal to E naught sine omega t, and this is what your current equation. So see, current is what? Minus pi by 2. Current is what? Behind. by what angle? Pi by 2. So how you say here? Suppose you want to draw phasor diagram. This is your phasor diagram. Okay, how it's looking? This is what your, okay, suppose I represent my voltage equation here. This is my voltage equation E, and this is initial phase omega t. Then you see what happening? Your current, this is a voltage equation, current is what? Minus pi by 2 behind. So current is what? Lagging here. This is your current equation, and that angle, okay, this is omega t, that angle is what? Your 90 degree. So who is behind here? Current. So how you say here? Here in this case, current and potential are both in phase, but here you see that voltage or potential leads current by what? 90 degree. So there is a phase difference. Okay, how much phase difference? That phi we calling here, phi is what? 90 degree. So a pure inductor, this is a pure inductor. Generally inductor has a combination of resistance plus inductance both, but we're talking pure right now. So pure inductor is connected to AC source. Then what is the phase difference between is current and voltage? What is the answer? 90 degree. Okay, there is a phase difference of what? 90 degrees. Very important, we'll talk little later. Okay, now see here, equation you understood. This is the current equation. Okay, that's your voltage equation, general only. So now here, because here what I said, resistance does not depends on where I wrote, resistance does not depends on what? Frequency. But you see that your inductive reactance that I wrote it here depends on what? Frequency, right? Is looking what? Directly proportional to what? Frequency, right now. So if frequencies increase, then your inductive reactance will also increase. Suppose you want to draw a graph between what? Look here, this is XL versus what? Frequency on this side. Okay, frequency. Then what happens? The graph will be a straight line. They are proportional. Frequency of the supply source is increased, then the resistance offered, which is called what? XL or inductive reactance, will also what? Increase. So it's directly proportional. What's the meaning of this? Look here. Suppose your inductor, if a pure inductor, okay, pure inductor is connected to what? Is connected to DC, then what happens? A pure inductor is connected to what? DC, then what happens? Look to XL. Look here, XL is what? Omega into L or 2 pi FL. What is the frequency of AC? DC, sorry, 0. So it will offer what? 0 resistance. So XL is what? 0. It means what? When a pure inductor is connected to a DC source, okay, DC, it will not offer any resistance, it will not offer any what? Inductive reactance. Okay, it behaves like a wire of what? 0 resistance, right? Yes. So it's very important. If a pure inductor is connected to DC, then it offer what? 0 inductive reactance. Okay, it will not offer inductive reactance. For AC is directly proportional. More the frequency, suppose 50 Hertz frequency, it offered 10 ohm, and your frequency doubled, say 100 ohm, 100 Hertz, then this resistance offered also becomes like 20 ohm, double, correct? Directly proportional to what? Frequency, or you say angular frequency also. Okay, now we will talk capacitor alone connected to what? Your AC circuit, then what happens? Okay, let's see it. Okay, so we were talking the third element. So we are talking capacitor alone connected to what? AC source. Okay, then what happens? So look here, you have a capacitor and is connected to what? An AC source. This is your AC. See, some current flowing here, say I. What is AC equation? E naught sin omega t, correct? Okay, so some voltage will be here, that's called VC. Okay, so you are interested again in knowing that what is the current equations and voltage equation already you know. This is voltage equation. E is equal to what? Once more, E is equal to what? E naught sin omega t. Let's find the current equation. What's the equation of current? So we will know the phase difference. Okay, remember capacitor charge or Q is equal to what? C into V, correct? Charge stored in a capacitor or charge at an instant is what? C into what? V, correct? V is potential, that's that equation. Let's put it here. So Q is equal to C E naught sin omega t, correct? We want to find current. So what is current? Rate of flow of charge, right? We know that current is nothing but what? I is what? dq by what? dt, right? Okay, let's differentiate that. So when differentiate C and E naught are constant, sine omega t, correct na, becomes what? Cos omega t, right? And omega outside, correct? So look here, what current equation comes? So E naught and this term what? Omega and C, you send it down here, right? Like 1 by omega C, okay? And cos omega t. So this term is called what? Like resistance of a capacitor offered toward an AC current is called capacitive reactance. Okay, so current voltage by resistance, this is what current, so you can call this as maximum current also. Simply you can write equation I is equal to what? I naught cos omega t, correct? Yes, that's a sine equation, this is a cosine equation. Positive means this term is what? Ahead. Who is ahead? Current ahead. This equation you can also write as what? I naught sine, you can write omega t plus pi by 2. So you see these two equations, who is ahead this time? Your current is ahead, right? Okay, let's first talk about this term. Xc is called what? Capacitive reactance. CAPACI, capacitive reactance is called what? Capacitive reactance is the resistance offered by a capacitor to what? AC current is called what? Capacitive reactance, right? So Xc value is what? 1 by omega C. What was XL? Omega into L is omega by C, and omega you know is what? 2 pi f frequency into what? C. So you can write, yes, you know it. Okay, a unit is same as what? XL only or resistance only, because it's also in ohms only. Okay, so this is what? Again ohm only. So you talk XL, you talk XC, you talk or resistance, three things we have, all our unit is what? Ohm only. Okay, yes. Okay, then we are interested that what is the phase difference now. Okay, so you see this is a voltage equation, sine equation, and cos. This is sine plus pi by 2 means what? This is what? Ahead. Suppose you draw the phasor diagram here, then how it looks. Okay, I am drawing it here. So this is what your voltage I am saying here, E naught, initial angle omega t, correct? Then current will be ahead, current will be here, that angle will be obviously 90 degree. So who leads here? In capacitor, pure capacitor connected to the AC circuit, current leads the voltage by what? 90 degree. So I am writing here who leads. Okay, so in this circuit current leads voltage by what? 90 degree, or you can say opposite of this also, voltage lags behind current by what? 90 degree. So phase difference between current and voltage in a pure inductor also what? 90 degree. Pure capacitor also what? 90 degree. Sorry, pure inductor also 90 degree, but who leads there? Voltage leads by what? 90 degree. Voltage is ahead. Okay, suppose you want to see that how they varies, you want to draw a curve between what? So you saw that here you can see that inductive reactance and frequency are what? Inversely proportional. X is inversely proportional to what? Frequency, right? So it means frequency increasing, then what happen? Inductive capacitive reactance will what? Reduce. Okay, so if you want to draw a graph between Xc versus frequency curve, so you see look what? An inverse curve, right? It will decrease with time, right? With frequency. Okay, capacitive reactance is this, inversely varies, inductive reactance varies directly, and resistance does not depends, right? All three graphs you have seen. Okay, now look here. Suppose as I told you like last time, inductor is connected to a DC circuit, then what happens? You learned that it offers what? Zero resistance, XL becomes 0. Now what happens to here? See here, if a pure capacitor, okay, is what? Connected to what? DC source, okay, then what happens? Look here, what is Xc? Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi f C, 1 by 0. Why 0? Frequency 0, right now for DC frequency 0, so 1 by 0 means what? You have infinite. So your capacitor what? Offers infinite, okay, capacitive reactance to what? A DC current. Okay, so what you say? Capacitor offers what? Infinite resistance, right now, or inductive reactance is say properly say inductive reactance only, sorry, capacitive reactance, what happening to me? Capacitive reactance. Okay, yes. So look here, so what's the use of this actually? Okay, it's very important. You say in simple what you say that when current DC current is flowing through a capacitor, what it capacitor do, it blocks the DC current, it doesn't allow DC current to flow, because offering infinite resistance, and you know that through an infinite resistance current cannot flow, right? So simply your what you say, your capacitor, okay, you can say capacitor blocks DC current, okay, blocks what, DC current, correct. So what we can do, this capacitor is used as a filter. Suppose some circuit is there where AC and DC both mix, current is coming, then you can put a capacitor there, capacitor will block your DC current, will allow only AC current to pass through it, right? So your capacitor is used as a filter, okay. Capacitor can be used as filter, okay, correct. It can be used as filter because it can separate AC and DC, right? It will block your DC current it will not allow to pass, so it will allow only what, AC current to pass through it, right? So it can use as a filter, right? Okay, so we are saying that circuit drop, what is voltage drop, VC, obviously what, I into what, XC, there is no problem like here, okay. Okay, these we have learned individually. Now actually what we have to learn, we have to learn 2 in group, like R and L together, L and C together, then R and C together, like this 2 combination, but I am not teaching that you, because what we have, we learn all these 3 together, then whatever element is not given, that you can remove from the main formulas, okay. So what we are learning directly, it's a main topic we have to learn. So I am learning R, L, C, okay, all 3 elements connected in series, okay. Parallel we don't need syllabus, connected in what, series to what, AC source, also called series RLC circuit, okay, simply. So R, resistance, inductor and capacitance all are there, all are connected in series with an AC source, then what will happen? Then we want to answer this question that what is phase difference, what is the current flowing, what is the power, okay, what is the net resistance, these things we want to answer. So let's see it here. You have a circuit, this is circuit which contains first a resistance, inductor and a capacitor, and all are connected to an AC source. This is your AC source, okay. Okay, now see it. So resistance L and C, these are the values. Voltage is applying same equation only, E is equal to E naught sin omega t as sinusoidal wave, correct. Okay, now see. So voltage drop here is called VR, here called voltage drop VL, and here is called what, VC. So this net voltage goes what, among these 3 elements. Current flowing through all element will be same because they all are in series, right now? Yes. Now what happens, already you have seen like current flowing is same, but voltage and current relations were different. Somewhere voltage ahead, sometime behind, somewhere equal. See in resistance what happens, suppose this is the direction of the current, then voltage also what is exactly in same direction, VR, there is no phase difference. But here you show that suppose this is the direction of current, right, I, then voltage is what actually ahead, VL will be ahead, correct. And here what happens, suppose this is the direction of the your what, yes, current I am writing here, then voltage is what, behind, VC is what, here, correct. Yes. So actually because they are in different direction, we have to add them by vector rules, okay. Yes. So we want to add these 3 potential by vector rules, and so what I do, vector rule like normal formula like root a square b square plus 2ab cos theta, right, that formula only we want to use, but we have 3 quantities, okay. So I draw first phasor diagram, from phasor diagram we will add them, okay. So look here, I am drawing a phasor diagram here, this is your phasor diagram. In this phasor diagram, because current direction is same in all, so I am represent along what, x direction, this is your direction of the current I naught, okay. Yes. Then we want to know where is the voltage drop, okay. Look here, look, let's talk about this resistance. This is the direction of current, that what's the direction of voltage, same, there is no phase difference. So suppose this much arrow represent what, your VR, voltage drop across what, your resistance, okay. Then let's go to what, inductor. Inductor direction of current same only again. What is voltage? 90 degree ahead. So voltage equation we represent on this side. This is suppose your voltage. How much? Oh, that we calling as what? VL. This is your voltage drop in what, your inductor. 90 degree ahead than what, your current. Let's go here. that's the direction of current. There is a voltage what behind. So voltage drop in your capacitor is what? Vc behind what? Your current. Now you have three vectors 1, 2 and 3. We want to add them by vector rules, right? Let's add first these two vectors, what? VL and VC. Correct. So what is the angle between this VL and VC? 180 degree, right? So remember, these shortcuts already remember that a square plus b square plus 2ab cos as your vector addition formula, right? We want to add these two vectors VL and VC. Angle is 180 degree, so directly you can subtract. Why? Because you put cos 180, it becomes a square b square minus 2ab, that becomes a minus b simply, right? So you can subtract them. We don't know who is big, so I'm just writing, suppose VL is big, then your net answers come some, suppose this is your net answer, that's what your VL minus VC, correct? So this must represent what? Your VL minus VC. Directly you can subtract because angle is what? 180 degree. Now this and this vector you want to add, right? So these two are what? At 90 degree. Yes, this angle is what? 90 degree. Suppose this is a resultant of them, okay? That's we call what? E naught here, the supply voltage, okay? So again these two we want to add by vector rule, same formula, root a square b square plus 2ab cos 90. So what is 90? Here angle is what? 90, cos 90. Cos 90 means 0. So what is the answer? Just a square b square. So your net voltage that you are supplying E naught is nothing. First I am writing a small point at top, okay? So voltage equation, okay? What is voltage equation here? How you add voltage among these three elements in AC? So that E naught is simply equal to root of what? This vector plus this vector, right? That all VL minus VC square plus what? VR square. That's called your net voltage drop in an AC circuit where R, L, C, all three elements are present, right? Yes. See, it's very important, interesting. Like suppose you have DC source, you connected two resistance R1, R2, then what is the voltage drop? Simply you supplying, suppose V voltage supplying, then directly what? V1 plus V2 in series, right? That not happening here. Here we are doing with vector addition because directions of current and voltage are different element, right? So vector addition for what? AC, right? VL minus VC square plus VR square, okay? Yeah, this is your net voltage, okay? Now look here. This is your direction of your final voltage, that's the direction of your current. So this is your overall your phase difference. This much angle gives what? Your overall phase difference. Actually this triangle, you can see a small triangle here. This is called impedance triangle. This is called what? Impedance triangle. I will talk about this more, okay? Yes, okay. From this impedance triangle, actually what you can know the resultant phase difference, okay? Final or, okay, I am writing here. So I am second one writing here, resultant phase difference, okay? Finally, when all three are there, then what is the angle between current and what? Potential, right now? Yes. So that we know from here. Look in this triangle, tan phi. What is tan phi in this triangle? Tan theta, perpendicular by what? Base. Perpendicular means what? This vector, right? VL minus VC, and base means what? VR vector. So you can write VL minus VC by what? VR. Correct? Okay, watch carefully. What is voltage? Voltage is equal to what? Simply current into resistance. Like what is VL? I into XL. What is VC? I into XC. What is VR? I into R. So I you can cancel, then you can write in terms of these also, XL minus XC by what? R. That's also what? Your phase difference, resultant phase difference, right? Okay.